He grew up in a cramped two-room apartment in Chennai, India, with no telephone, no TV, and barely enough to get by. Today, he leads Google and Alphabet, two of the most powerful companies in the world. This is the true story of Sundar Pichai, a story of quiet resilience, uncommon vision, and how one man's humility shaped the future of the internet. Stick around. This story might just change the way you think about success. Sundar Pichai was born in 1972 in Madurai, a city in the southern state of Tamil Nadu, India. His full name, Pichai Sundar Rajan, reflects deep Tamil roots and a modest upbringing. He lived with his parents and younger brother in a small apartment in Ashok Nagar, Chennai. The entire family shared a two-room flat, not a two-bedroom, just two rooms, with no refrigerator, no television, and no car. His father, Raghunatha Pichai, was an electrical engineer at the British conglomerate GEC. His mother, Lakshmi, was a stenographer who left work to care for the children. Despite their limited income, Sundar's parents were determined to give their sons the best education they could afford. And from an early age, it was clear. Sundar had an exceptional memory. He could remember every number he dialed on the rotary phone, even if he heard it just once. This unusual gift for numbers and patterns would quietly follow him for the rest of his life. Sundar was not loud. He wasn't the type to fight for the spotlight or chase attention. He was quiet, observant, always thinking, always absorbing. Classmates later said he wasn't the top of the class in every subject, but when it came to focus and clarity of thought, he stood apart. After high school, he earned admission into one of India's most prestigious institutions, the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. There he studied metallurgical engineering, but it wasn't just metal and materials that caught his attention. He was drawn to the emerging world of electronics, software, and computer science. The spark had been lit. After graduating from IIT with distinction, Sundar was awarded a scholarship to Stanford University in California. It was a turning point, but it wasn't easy. His father withdrew nearly all of his family's savings, over a year's worth of salary, just to cover the airfare. It was a sacrifice and a risk, but his parents believed in him. At Stanford, Sundar began a master's degree in materials science and engineering. He quickly adapted to the culture, the pace, and the immense possibilities of Silicon Valley. But there was still a problem. Money was tight. He couldn't afford a computer of his own. He lived modestly, often sending money home, and stayed laser-focused on learning. Later, he would briefly enroll in an MBA program at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. Even there, his quiet brilliance stood out. He was named a Siebel Scholar and a Palmer Scholar, reserved for the top students in the program. But the corporate world was calling, and in 2004, Sundar joined a company that would change everything. He arrived at Google as a product manager. His first assignment? Improving Google's search toolbar. It sounds simple today, but back then, this little browser toolbar was critical. It was the gateway to Google, before smartphones, before Chrome, and Sundar saw its potential. While others focused on adding features, Sundar focused on user experience. He believed in building products that were clean, fast, and useful, not flashy. He listened, he observed, and he built trust quietly, without ego. One day, he proposed that Google should build its own web browser. It was a risky idea, one that could threaten Google's partnership with Microsoft, whose browser, Internet Explorer, dominated the world. But Sundar wasn't trying to play politics. He was thinking long-term. If Google didn't control the browser, it wouldn't control the future of the web. It took convincing, but Sundar got the green light, and in 2008, Google Chrome was launched. Within a few years, it became the world's most used browser. Fast, minimal, secure. It embodied Sundar's design philosophy: simplicity, speed, and trust. By the way, if you found Sundar's story meaningful so far, consider subscribing to this channel. We share true stories of remarkable people, not just for inspiration, but to offer real insight you can use. Let's keep growing together. Chrome's success catapulted Sundar into the spotlight within Google. Soon, he was entrusted with Android, another bold step. Under his leadership, Android became the most widely used mobile operating system in the world. Powering billions of devices, he was no longer just a product guy. He was shaping the future of how humans connect, search, and experience the internet. His management style was calm, collaborative, and inclusive. He didn't dominate meetings. He asked questions, he listened, and people respected him. not because he was the loudest voice in the room, but because his ideas were always clear, grounded, and focused on the user. In 2015, when Google's founders Larry Page and Sergey Brin restructured the company into Alphabet Inc., they made a surprising move. They named Sundar Pichai CEO of Google. Just 4 years later, he would become CEO of Alphabet itself, the parent company of Google, YouTube, Android, and more. The boy from Chennai was now leading one of the most powerful tech empires on Earth. But leadership at this level comes with enormous pressure, privacy concerns, antitrust investigations, misinformation. Sundar stepped into the storm, and yet he remained composed. He testified before Congress with clarity, respect, and a deep understanding of technology's impact on society. He didn't dodge hard questions. He answered them, and when necessary, admitted what needed to be improved. His leadership was marked by a rare quality in tech: grace. Sundar believed that technology should serve people, not the other way around. And even as he rose in wealth, power, and influence, those who knew him say he never lost touch with his roots. Today, Sundar Pichai oversees products and platforms used by billions of people every single day. But when asked about success, he doesn't talk about fame or wealth. He talks about curiosity, about the power of education, and about building things that genuinely help others. If this story inspired you, take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. It helps us grow, and it helps more people discover real stories that matter. Key life lessons from Sundar Pichai's journey. 1. You don't need to be loud to lead. Sundar led with calm, clarity, and collaboration, not bravado. Quiet strength can go farther than we think. 2. Focus on building, not boasting. He didn't chase fame. He built things that solved real problems, and the world noticed. 3. Never forget where you came from. Even at the top, Sundar stayed grounded. He carried his values, humility, hard work, and empathy, into every role. 4. Take long-term bets. Chrome was a risk, so was Android, but Sundar looked 10 years ahead, not just 1 quarter. 5. Education changes everything. His path, from IIT to Stanford to CEO, was paved by learning, not just degrees, but curiosity, exploration, and the courage to keep growing. Sundar Pichai's life isn't just a tech success story. It's a reminder that brilliance doesn't need noise, that the world can be shaped not only by bold ideas, but by quiet minds with unwavering focus, and that no matter where you begin, you can shape the future if you never stop learning, building, and believing. Thank you for watching.